Mom stole $12K of my rent for my brother's family. I moved out and cut them off. She betrayed me, funneling my rent to my brother's lavish life. Will my escape crush their greed forever? Hi, I'm Ava Reynolds. My mother secretly stole $12,000 from my rent payments to fund my brother's family. A heart-wrenching betrayal that shattered my trust and drove me to sever all ties with them forever. I moved out, reclaiming my independence in a bold stand that exposed their greed. Will my escape crush their greed forever? The spring evenings in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, carry a gentle warmth. The scent of blooming lilacs and the distant hum of Lake Michigan's waves weaving a deceptive promise of family unity. But no amount of seasonal charm could mask the sting of being sidelined in the home where I'd fought to belong. I stood in the cluttered kitchen of our aging two-story house, the chipped linoleum floor and faded yellow curtains a familiar stage for the countless moments I'd been overshadowed, clutching a watercolor painting I'd poured my heart into at 9, hoping to join a community art class, only to be told my brother's music lessons were the priority. The air was thick with the aroma of overcooked spaghetti and the heavy weight of my mother's dismissive smile, a silence that spoke louder than words, etching into my heart the painful truth that I was never the favored child, setting me on a path to carve out my own independence far beyond their reach, a journey that would lead to a dramatic confrontation and a triumphant new beginning fueled by my refusal to be exploited any longer. I'm a 25-year-old financial analyst at a bustling downtown Milwaukee firm, my days consumed by crunching numbers, drafting investment reports, and navigating high-stakes client meetings, a career built through years of relentless study at a state university, funded by part-time jobs and student loans that I managed alone. To my family, however, I'm the quiet shadow, perpetually eclipsed by my brother, Lucas, 4 years older and the golden child in their eyes, whose every action was celebrated as a triumph. Growing up in our working-class neighborhood, with its modest bungalows, annual block parties, and the chatter of neighbors over backyard fences, I was the diligent daughter, staying up late to ace my algebra exams, taking on extra chores like scrubbing pots or weeding the garden, and saving every dime from babysitting to afford school supplies, while Lucas was fawned over for his charisma, his high school band performances, and his easy charm that seemed to justify every sacrifice my parents made for him. Family dinners were a ritual of imbalance. Mom's meatloaf steaming on the table, Dad recounting his factory shifts, Lucas dominating the conversation with tales of his latest music gig or new friends, while my A in English or my selection for the honor roll went unnoticed. Mom's fleeting, "That's nice," Ava drowned out by her praise for Lucas's star quality. My diary noting A in history. No one asked. My parents, James and Carol, never inquired about the nights I spent studying in a drafty dorm room, the anxiety of balancing rent with loan payments, or the exhaustion of juggling school and late-night shifts at a diner, their attention wholly absorbed by Lucas's potential, which they nurtured with private vocal lessons, a professional-grade microphone, and a living room converted into a makeshift studio for his music, my diary noting art class denied. Lucas's mic comes first. From a young age, I'd learned that love in our family was a scarce commodity, distributed unevenly, with Lucas claiming the lion's share and me left to gather the crumbs. A truth that crystallized at 9 when I presented Mom with a watercolor painting, vibrant with blues and yellows, and a neatly completed application for a community art class, my hands trembling with pride and hope. Her gentle smile and maybe next semester. Ava. I just paid for Lucas's guitar lessons landed like a quiet blow, prompting me to nod, tuck the form into my desk drawer, and never mention it again, my diary noting painting ignored. Lucas's music wins. Lucas's 16th birthday was a spectacle, a new guitar, a backyard jam session with his band, the neighborhood cheering his solos while mine was a subdued affair, 2 friends sharing store-bought cupcakes in our living room, my gift a $10 sketch pad with a ballpoint pen. Dads, you're practical. Ava, a dismissal that stung deeper than the plain paper. My diary noting $10 gift. Guitar for him. I'm not enough. In high school, Lucas's band awards were trumpeted to relatives, while my academic achievements a scholarship. A debate team win earned a cursory good job from Mom. My diary noting top 10% class. They didn't notice. By 14, I understood that if I wanted anything in life, I'd have to seize it myself. My diary a quiet resolve. No help from them. I'll make my way. The realization hardened at 15 when Lucas received a full scholarship to a prestigious music school and a shiny new car, while I sought work to fund my future. My grandparents, owners of a cozy antique shop on Milwaukee's outskirts, offered me a job, Grandpa gesturing to a pile of dusty books. Handle the smell. It's yours. I took a 40-minute bus ride after school, dusting shelves, labeling vintage trinkets, and ringing up sales, finding solace in the stories behind each pocket watch or sepia-toned photo, my diary noting 8-hour, 100-week. I'm building. Grandma's grilled cheese sandwiches and hot chocolate warmed me. Her words, "You're your own sky." Ava, a beacon in the darkness of my family's neglect. My diary noting her love is free. I'm seen. While Lucas lived rent-free with parental allowances, I saved every penny, my diary noting $500 saved. Freedom Fund started. Their neglect music lessons, a car, a studio for Lucas pushed me to rely on myself, my diary noting no support from them. I'm enough. Milwaukee's spring night was soft, my resolve a quiet fire, their betrayal a wound I'd transform into strength, a vow to rise above, unaware that their greed would soon escalate, testing my endurance in a way that would demand a final, decisive break. The relentless favoritism my family showed Lucas, showering him with support while dismissing my efforts, drove me to forge a path of independence through college, a grueling journey marked by sacrifice and silent resilience. In my cramped Milwaukee dorm room, the spring evening was heavy, the city's distant hum seeping through a single, drafty window, casting a dim glow across the scuffed linoleum floor and sagging twin bed that creaked with every movement. The air was thick with the scent of instant ramen and the faint mustiness of old textbooks piled on a rickety desk, a constant reminder of the student loans that loomed over my future. My diary lay open, its pages a raw chronicle of my struggle, the watercolor painting rejected at 9, Lucas's new car, my hours at the antique shop a ledger of my fight to rise above their neglect, urging me to reflect on the years I'd been sidelined, balancing 2 jobs and full-time classes while Lucas basked in their praise. The memory of Mom's "the budget's tight and Dad's Lucas has talent" lingered, a wound that fueled my determination to build a freedom fund, a quiet vow to escape their shadow, setting the stage for a betrayal that would push me to my breaking point and redefine my sense of family. College was a battle of endurance, my loans a persistent shadow as I juggled a demanding business program at a state university with 2 part-time jobs to cover expenses. By day, I worked at my grandparents' antique shop, a 40-minute bus ride from campus, dusting shelves, cataloging vintage trinkets, and assisting customers for $8 an hour, the work grounding me in the stories behind each faded photograph or tarnished locket, my diary noting $100 a week, $50 for books. I'm learning history. By night, I served coffee and pastries at a campus cafe, wiping down tables and mopping floors until 10 p.m. for $9 an hour, the income barely covering my $600 dorm rent, $100 for groceries, and $50 for utilities, my diary noting $600 rent, $20 for bus fare. I'm scraping by. The dorm was a stark contrast to Lucas's rent-free apartment, its thin walls echoing with neighbors' laughter, its flickering lights a daily irritation. But it was a space where I wasn't compared to Lucas, my diary noting $600 rent. No judgment. This is mine. I furnished it with thrift store finds a $50 bed that sagged in the middle, a $20 desk that wobbled under my books, a $10 lamp that flickered, but each item symbolized my independence, my diary noting 45,000 income, loans to pay. I'm self-made. My family's neglect was a constant, gnawing ache, their group chat buzzing with Lucas's triumphs photos of his band's latest gig, Mom's posts praising his star quality, Dad sharing clips of Lucas performing at college events, while my texts about acing a finance exam or earning a scholarship went unanswered, my diary noting 4. GPA, no reply. I'm invisible. Lucas's graduation was a lavish affair, with a cake, flowers, and a rented venue, while my freshman year's perfect GPA earned a single well-done text from Mom, my diary noting honors list, no celebration. They don't see me. I stopped seeking their approval, channeling my energy into my studies and jobs, my diary noting $100 for groceries, $50 for utilities. I'm enough. Mom's occasional remarks, "You're so responsible." Ava, not like Lucas, rang hollow, her pride reserved for his music career, supported by their endless resources. My diary noting they fund his dreams, not mine. I'm on my own. To save money, I lived at home during my early college years, waking at 5:30 hours the net. Ma. To catch the bus to campus, attending classes, and working cafe shifts until late, my diary noting 9-hour, $200 saved. Freedom Fund grows. I contributed $50 monthly to household utilities, never asking for financial help. My diary noting $50 for bills. No handouts. I'm self-reliant. My Freedom Fund grew to $2,000 a lifeline for a future escape from their favoritism. My diary noting $2,000 saved, loans to pay. I'm planning ahead. Lucas's engagement to Sophie, announced with plans for a lavish wedding, deepened the divide. Mom's excitement. He deserves the best, overshadowing my quiet achievements. My diary noting wedding plans, no mention of my A's. I'm sidelined. Milwaukee's spring night was warm. My resolve a quiet fire. Their neglect a wound I'd transform into strength. A vow to break free, unaware that their greed would soon escalate, exploiting my hard-earned stability in a way that would demand a decisive, irreversible response. The favoritism my family showed Lucas, prioritizing his dreams while dismissing mine, escalated into a deeper betrayal when they began exploiting my rent payments to fund his new family, pushing me to the edge of endurance. In the Milwaukee apartment I'd taken over from Lucas, the spring evening was tense, the city's distant lights barely penetrating the drawn curtains, casting a dim glow across the worn carpet, still marked by tape from Lucas's old posters. The air was heavy with the scent of stale coffee and the lingering chaos of a space no longer mine, now overrun by Lucas's family. My diary lay open on the cramped kitchen counter, its pages a raw chronicle of my sacrifices, the $350 bridesmaid dress I paid for, the $48,000 wedding they funded, my move into this apartment a record of my struggle to maintain independence, urging me to confront the family that used me as a financial crutch. The memory of Mom's insistence that I pay full rent and her later scheme to divert my money to Lucas burned, a betrayal that crystallized when his family invaded my home, setting the stage for a discovery that would shatter my trust and propel me toward a bold escape. Lucas's wedding, a $48,000 extravaganza at a Vermont resort with a live band and fireworks, was a stark display of their priorities. My role reduced to a bridesmaid who paid $350 for a pastel satin dress, my diary noting $350 out, $48,000 for them. I'm a prop. I walked 2 miles home the night before, unable to afford a bus after helping decorate, my diary noting no fare, their party. I'm exhausted. Grandma's quiet. I'm proud of you at the reception, as we washed dishes together, was a rare moment of warmth, my diary noting, her words are enough. I'm seen. After the wedding, Lucas and Sophie moved to Connecticut with a $12,000 starter fund from my parents, drawn from a second mortgage. My diary noting $12,000 for them, nothing for me. I'm ignored. Seeking stability. I moved into Lucas's old two-bedroom apartment near campus, agreeing to pay half the $1,200 rent and cover utilities, a deal that felt like a small victory. My diary noting $600 rent, $50 utilities. This is my space. Graduating with honors, I landed a $60,000 job at a financial firm, a milestone that brought pride, but no family celebration. My diary noting $60K job, loans paid. No party. Mom demanded I pay the full $1,200 rent, reneging on our half-rent agreement. Her justification, "You're stable now." A cold dismissal. My diary noting $1,200 rent. No fairness. I comply. I worked 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Returning to the apartment's worn carpet and scuffed walls, cooking simple meals in silence, my diary noting $100 groceries, $50 bills. I'm surviving. Lucas's updates a new house. A baby named Oliver filled family chats. My promotion to assistant project manager ignored. My diary noting promotion. No praise. I'm unseen. Mom's unannounced visit with a 15% rent increase notice, citing my new position, deepened the wound. My diary noting $1,380 rent. No respect. I'm a resource. The betrayal intensified when Lucas, Sophie, and Oliver moved in, rent-free, after his company's bankruptcy. Mom insisting I continue paying $1,380 and sleep on the sofa to give them my bedroom. Her reasoning: babies need stability a slap. My diary noting $1,380 for them. Sofa for me. I'm erased. Lucas lounged, scrolling through old band videos. Sophie ran errands, leaving Oliver with me after exhausting shifts. My diary noting no rest. $50 diapers. I'm a servant. Utility bills doubled. My meals vanished. Dishes piled up. My diary noting $200 utilities. No peace. I'm trapped. Mom's call, labeling me selfish for asking them to contribute, hinted at her plan to divert my rent to Lucas. My diary noting she's using me. I'm done. Milwaukee's spring night was cold. My resolve a quiet fire. Their betrayal a wound I'd transform into strength. A vow to uncover their scheme and escape, setting the stage for a final act of liberation that would redefine my future. The discovery that my mother was secretly funneling $12,000 from my rent payments to support Lucas's family was a devastating betrayal, shattering my trust and propelling me to move out and sever all ties with the family that exploited me. In my new Milwaukee one-bedroom apartment, the spring evening was serene, the city's twinkling lights streaming through a wide window, casting a soft glow across the polished hardwood floor and minimalist furnishings: a small desk, a cozy armchair, a single lamp. The air was fragrant with the soothing scent of fresh coffee, a ritual that anchored me in the peace of my hard-earned independence, a stark contrast to the chaos of the apartment I'd fled. My diary lay open on the desk, its pages a raw testament to the betrayal the $1,380 rent I paid, Lucas's rent-free invasion, Mom's hidden transfers a record of my fight to reclaim my life, urging me to reflect on the months I'd been used as a financial crutch. The memory of Mom's dismissive "you're selfish" and her secret siphoning of $600 monthly from my rent burned like a fresh wound, a betrayal that crystallized when I uncovered her scheme, driving me to execute a quiet, resolute escape that would mark the end of their hold over me and the beginning of a triumphant new chapter. The nightmare began when Lucas, Sophie, and their baby Oliver moved into my apartment, rent-free, after his company's collapse in Connecticut. Mom insisting I continue paying the full $1,380 rent and relinquish my bedroom for Oliver, forcing me onto the living room sofa. Her justification: Babies need a stable environment, a cruel dismissal of my own needs. My diary noting $1,380 for them. Sofa for me. I'm displaced. Lucas spent his days lounging, watching old music videos on his phone, lost in nostalgia for his band days, while Sophie ran errands or shopped, leaving Oliver in my care after my 12-hour workdays at the financial firm. My diary noting no sleep, $50 for formula. I'm a babysitter. Utility bills doubled as they used electricity and water without restraint. My carefully planned meals disappeared within minutes, and dishes piled up in the sink. My diary noting $200 for utilities, no respect. I'm drained. The apartment, once a sanctuary with its cozy balcony and open kitchen, became a prison. The carpet still scarred from Lucas's parties, the walls marked by his old posters, my personal space erased, my diary noting no room, no peace. I'm trapped. I tried to address the imbalance, sitting Mom down one evening as she sipped tea at the cluttered kitchen counter, my voice steady. Lucas and Sophie need to contribute to rent or bills. I can't keep paying for everything. Her response was sharp, her eyes narrowing. Ava, don't be selfish. Lucas lost everything: his job, his stability. You're doing fine at that firm. Her words stung, a reminder of the favoritism that had always favored Lucas. My diary noting, she called me selfish. I'm just a wallet. The situation worsened when I noticed my bank account dwindling faster than expected. The $1,380 rent payments, $200 utility bills, and $100 for groceries eating into my savings, my diary noting $1,680 out monthly, $2,000 left. I'm sinking. My suspicions grew, a nagging sense that something was amiss, my diary noting Mom's hiding something. I need proof. The truth emerged one morning when Mom left her phone on the counter, a notification from Lucas flashing need $600 for Oliver's stroller. Say it's for repairs if Ava asks. My heart sank, hands trembling as I opened the unlocked phone, revealing a text thread exposing her scheme for 3 months. She'd been transferring $600 of my $1,380 rent to Lucas and Sophie, labeling it emotional support for their tough time. My diary noting $600 monthly, $12,000 total. She stole from me. The betrayal wasn't just the money, it was the secrecy, the lies, the assumption that I'd never notice. My diary noting $12,000 gone. No trust. They're parasites. That night, alone on the balcony, wrapped in a thin blanket, I stared at Milwaukee's skyline. The glowing windows of distant buildings, a reminder of lives free from such deceit, my diary noting I'm done carrying them. I'm leaving. I acted swiftly, searching online for a new apartment, finding a $900 one-bedroom downtown, an 8-minute walk from my firm, its clean lines and quiet charm a stark contrast to the chaos I'd endured. My diary noting $900 rent, no drama. My new start. The landlord, a kind widow, required only proof of my $60,000 salary. My diary noting $60K job, no roommates. I'm accepted. I signed the lease, ordered a $200 suitcase with same-day delivery, and began packing clothes, laptop, a few books, my bedside lamp leaving Lucas's crib, Sophie's espresso machine, and the apartment's clutter behind. My diary noting $200 suitcase, nothing of theirs. I'm gone. At 2:10 a.m., I taped a note to the fridge. Don't look, don't call, don't expect another dime, and wheeled my suitcases down the silent hallway, the weight of betrayal lifting with each step. My diary noting $12,000 lost, freedom gained. I'm out. Milwaukee's night sky was calm, the stars a silent witness to my resolve. My escape, a quiet fire that burned away their $12,000 deception, a vow to never return, setting the stage for a life defined by my own strength and worth. My escape from the family that siphoned $12,000 from my rent to fund Lucas's family was a hard-won triumph, a decisive break that freed me to build a life of purpose, peace, and unshakable self-worth, unburdened by their greed and neglect. In my Milwaukee one-bedroom apartment, a modest haven in the heart of downtown, the spring morning was radiant, sunlight streaming through a wide window, bathing the polished hardwood floors in a golden glow, illuminating a cozy desk piled with MBA textbooks, a small bookshelf of novels, and a single lavender plant blooming vibrantly on the sill. The air was fragrant with the soothing scent of chamomile tea, brewed in a sleek kettle that hummed softly, a daily ritual that grounded me in the calm of my $60,000 career and debt-free existence, a stark contrast to the chaos of the apartment I'd fled. My diary lay open on the desk, its pages a powerful testament to my journey through betrayal and victory, the $12,000 stolen by Mom, the nights on the sofa, the note on the fridge that marked my departure, a chronicle urging me to live fully, unbound by the family that had exploited me, a family whose greed had been laid bare in their desperate demands. The memory of Mom's secret transfers and Lucas's dismissive selfishness text faded like a distant echo, replaced by the vibrant reality of my achievements, a thriving career, an MBA, a new relationship, a voice that inspired others, a triumph that needed no validation from them, a truth that let their betrayal dissolve into irrelevance, affirming my right to live as Ava Reynolds, a woman who rose above their neglect with resilience, courage, and an unyielding belief in her own worth. The move to my new apartment was a rebirth, the $900 rent a small price for a sanctuary where no one demanded my money or space, my diary noting $900 rent, my peace. I'm home at last. I threw myself into my MBA program, earning straight A's in my first semester, the late nights poring over finance texts a testament to my drive, my diary noting A's in econ, no loans. I'm thriving. A promotion to project manager at my financial firm boosted my salary, my diary noting new title, no debt. I'm soaring. On the first of the month, when Mom called expecting the usual $1,380 rent payment, I let her voicemail Ava, Jason needs $600 for Oliver's checkup, go unanswered, responding with a text I moved out. No more money ever. Her reply, a mix of anger and pleading. You're unreasonable. Ava, family shares was met with silence. My diary noting $12,000 stolen. No guilt. I'm done. Lucas's message. Congrats on bailing. Hope your selfishness keeps you warm. Joined Mom's in a blocked folder, my diary noting their words are empty. I'm free. Life blossomed in the absence of their demands. I furnished my apartment with care, a $100 thrift store desk, a $50 armchair, a $20 lamp, each piece a symbol of my new beginning, my diary noting my space, my rules. I'm whole. I began writing essays about my journey, not out of bitterness, but to give voice to others trapped in similar cycles. My diary noting words for the unseen. I'm speaking. One essay, shared on a women's financial independence forum, went viral, leading to an invitation to speak at a nonprofit's Standing Up After the Shadows series. My diary noting my story matters. I'm heard. On stage, seeing audience members wipe away tears, I realized I was no longer just telling my story, but speaking for countless others. My diary noting I'm not alone. We rise together. The experience wasn't about fame, but about purpose. A confirmation that my escape had forged a path not just for me, but for those still finding their strength. My diary noting, no price for impact. I'm enough. I met Logan, a strategy director from my firm's Chicago office. Our connection growing from shared interests, books on leadership. Quiet coffee shop talks to a bond built on mutual respect. His words, some leave to live, resonating deeply. My diary noting, he sees me, no demands. I'm valued. Our relationship wasn't a whirlwind romance, but a steady partnership. His invitation to meet his mother in Vermont, a gentle step toward a new kind of family, one rooted in love without exploitation. My diary noting family can be chosen. I'm open. Grandma's updates painted a grim picture back home, Lucas and Sophie drowning in debt, unable to afford preschool, Mom borrowing from friends to maintain appearances. Her regret whispered in the kitchen. If only we hadn't lost Ava. But Grandma's words held the truth. You didn't lose her. Carol. She chose herself, my diary noting, they never held me. I walked away. I didn't hate them. Hate was a weight I refused to carry. My energy redirected to my career, my studies, and my voice, my diary noting, no room for anger. I'm building. My essays evolved into a blog, then a book outline, each word a step toward healing, my diary noting, my pain fuels purpose. I'm creating. Milwaukee's spring dawn was bright, the city's hum a backdrop to my new life, my resolve a quiet fire that burned away their $12,000 betrayal, a life of freedom and purpose, a triumph that affirmed my worth as Ava Reynolds, not their overlooked daughter, but a woman who forged her own light, a beacon for others to follow, a legacy of resilience, courage, and unyielding self-belief.